Hi everybody, my name is Ariel. Ceylan, how's everybody doing? I know it's been a really long time since I made a video about anything at all, but and I know this usually is what happens, is that I just go on like long breaks of things. Apparently me going to school is actually better for me as a writer. Who knew? But what I'm going to be doing today is going to be talking about like Banned Books Week and like the concept of banning thoughts and ideas. And one of the first things is when is Banned Books Week? Well, Banned Books Week is the last week of September, and that doesn't mean the last full week of September. If the last week of September is like, say, like on a Sunday or a Friday, well then that week is Banned Books Week, even if it crosses into October. Okay, so that's when that is. And there are two types of books that are up for banning. There are banned books and then there are challenged books. And challenged books are when people find out about a book and think that it's inappropriate, and then they go to the library or they go to the school board and they're saying, why is this book being read? Chances are it's not the kid who has to read the book who is searching to ban a book. It's usually their parents. So it's their parents and they're like, oh, we don't like this book. And now actually to make a book challenge hold, that parent needs to prove what in the book is worthy of being banned. And if they've read the whole thing and how they heard about it. I mean, they could just heard about like, oh my God, could you believe that in Song of Solomon that da-da-da-da-da happened? And yeah, Song of Solomon, that's an intense book. Not sure if I would let minors read that, but a book like Song of Solomon is actually on the banned books list. Actually, a lot of classic books that actually shape a lot of our thought today are actually on the banned books list. Here are some that are actually banned right now. 1984, Lolita, Catcher in the Rye. What else? I know, I just saw the entire list and I don't remember. Catcher in the Rye. We have Song of Solomon, Sula, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Diary of Anne Frank, Night by Elie Wiesel. Let me see, we also have the autobiography of Malcolm X on the banned books list. The Clockwork Orange. These are just some examples of books that have actually been banned and are on the banned books list. Books that do make it to the banned books list are, they have some kind of inoffensive material. It could be racially, sexually, there could be too much violence in these types of pieces. But, some people are like, oh, well, how could you be banning a book like 1984, Fahrenheit 451? And it's kind of like, we need to be like really careful. Like, what do we ban? What is worth banning? Like, even online, actually, the courts have deemed that the internet policy use is actually a controlled internet policy use in the library, that it's not actually free, and that our First Amendment rights don't actually cover everything that we watch online. Most things, certainly things that have artistic value, scientific, intellectual, philosophical, all that value, like, sure, that's fine, that's protected by First Amendment rights, but things like child pornography, that's not protected by the First Amendment rights, and that's not protected by the library as what's acceptable to watch when you're using their facilities. So it's kind of a question, like, why, like, you're using someone else's property, should you use something else? Should you use their property to do what you want, like, all the time? Like, at work, like, would you go and watch pornography or go watch, like, a football game at work? I mean, in that sense, that environment is limited content environment. Your First Amendment rights are not protected in that sense. Like, you're there to work, so you have to work. When you're at a library, you can't, not that they're gonna, they have, basic blockings of certain things, but they're not really just gonna let you have any old idea. But it's kind of like, if we make everything perfectly free, all thoughts completely free, then Are we sure that everything will be okay? I mean, certainly some people don't do anything. Of course, some people may just read a book and like, wow, that's a cool idea, or wow, that's really gross, and then close the book and move on to something else. There's some people who can come up with an entire counterculture or an entire involved culture. A counterculture, i.e. the Lolita's fashion style that started up in Japan in 2001. It's pretty much the idea that grown women are just kind of like protesting the disgusting and disturbingness of having a child perform sexual favors. So they decide that they're just going to stop performing sexual favors, period, and almost, in a sense, kind of be little girls, not so much about the doll thing. That's kind of more of an evolution of thought. I'm not sure if those girls have read Lolita to understand that idea. And like things that are like pro the culture, like Tolkien, like I'm sure plenty of fans actually are literate in Elvish. I'm not. I wish I was, but that's kind of cool too. There's some people who will act on things that they have read. But then again, that's like on a person by person basis. Like sometimes if person A is going to do it and person B, C, D, E, and F and G won't do it, then is it really the book's fault or is it person's A fault? Just things to think about. I mean, the idea of banning books and having books being allowed at one hand seems like you can't take away my right to see whatever I want, but at the same time, we keep ourselves ignorant about certain things because we don't like certain things, right? So sometimes it's kind of like, would you want someone to do that for you? Wouldn't you want someone to do that for you? And you also need to understand, like, what is being taken away from you. Just some thoughts. This is Ariel Ceylan. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good banned books week, and have a great day. Bye-bye.